Alright, so somebody requested 5 solo queue strategies for the map theme park, and they also said that they think like attacking is the harder side of it, which it is. So I'm going to start off on attack, and I'm going to give you 3 attack strats and then 2 defense strats that you can use on theme park. So this first one we're using sense, and we're going to attack the bunk and daycare site. And to do this you're going to want nades as well. You don't need nades, but I like to have nades on it. You don't need the hard breach or the claymores or anything, so I just like to run nades on this for this site only. So all you want to do is spawn this bumper cars and come up to the cafe back here. Now the idea is that you're going to take cafe control and then start pushing into the hallway into top arcade and site. Now what you're going to want to need to figure out before you do anything here is if cafe is being held hard, like if there's people inside of cafe. You don't have to care about people in the hallway, just people inside of cafe. If cafe is clear, then you're good to do the next step and go on with it. If not, you're going to have to deal with that guy when you go inside. So what I'm going to show you now is how to eliminate every other angle so that all you have to worry about is the people inside the cafe when you're trying to enter cafe. If you come up to this window here and then just sort of crouch here, and you see like the corner of the tiles on the roof there, just simply throw your Flores, nice, a little bit higher, throw your Flores up there and it'll go over the top. And then at this point you can just sort of take the 1v1 on the guy in cafe, or the 2v1 if you have multiple teammates, wherever he is. Hopefully you'll have a drone to figure out where he is. And then you've got cafe control and you can kind of run across over here. Now you're pretty much safe in this corner for a little bit. And if you know there's holes in the site wall, you want to try and progress, but you're going to need a sense to get you across. So then you'll do that. And now you can kind of push top arcade with this wall. And what I like to do is I like to hug this like this. Now you've kind of got a little bit of a safe spot, depending on if there's anybody like top main or anything. Now what I do after this, actually you would have another sense left if you didn't fuck up the first one like me. But from this position I like to try and get into sight. Now how I can do this is if I've still got a nade left, I'll kind of just try and like jiggle this and throw a nade down there just to make sure nobody peeks it while I push this site door here. There might be somebody peeking the boxes still, so you might have a fight here. But then at this point you're in sight, and now you can either plant here. Like you can't really cover the plant from the window though, because they'll be able to long arm it, but you can kind of either plant here, or you can kind of just take more fights, or you can try and jump behind here if you can. You can't vault this anymore. Never mind. I thought you could still vault that. Right, okay. But you basically you're in sight now, so you're trying to fight sight and see what you can get from sight. You've got another sense charge if you want to like use your sense and then get behind here, and then plant. But that's up to you at that point. But that's just basically one fun way I like to do to get into sight easy. A lot of people sleep on sense, and they don't kind of realize that he's actually really fucking fun to play and a really good operator. So if you're stuck for an operator to play, maybe try out sense. Alright, so the second strat is going to be for the initiation site, and now you're going to play sense again, but this time you're going to want to claim you're going to want a hard breach gadget. Now you're going to enter from the same place and do the same similar stuff, but you're not going to use the same senses. This is actually, instead of going, generally when people attack initiation, they'll either go from cache into office, or they'll go from like bunk into initiation. But what I like to do is I like to come from cafe and take the hallway and then go from the office double wall from the top yellow. Now it's a bit more like open outside, out in the open in the hallway, so you want to make sure you're clear enough to go in. It's possible that there could be holding cafe here, so you want to drone this out, make sure you're good to go in first. I wouldn't open the door fully before you drone it, because then they can run out while you're droning, but that's just me while I'm in the custom game here. So you'll want to make sure cafe is fully clear, check behind the tables and stuff, double check nobody's being a rat. What I like to do as well is I'll quickly check over here, make sure no one's here, and then I can either leave a drone and then use my other drone, or I'll just take that first drone back over this way, and check top yellow quickly. Now that I know top yellow is clear and nobody's picking the boxes, I can run in and take this cafe control. Now at this point you need to figure out if they're holding bunk side, and if they are, you're going to have to clear them before you do anything else. But you can do that simply by following your teammates, or just by droning them out yourself while you're in here, drone it out, figure out where they are, and like try and wallbang them and stuff. And now at this point, this is where you get into the actual meat and potatoes of the strat. So what you want to do with sense here is you want to come up to this drone hole and literally just throw it through the drone hole like that, and then you want to hard breach this wall while that sense is going off. At this point, before you go in as well, you can drone sight if you want to do that, but you don't really need to. What I like to do is I'll just come straight in and kind of get into this vault as fast as I can. Obviously you might have a gunfight in here, but you can kind of just, as soon as the breach pops, just kind of see who's like peeking you, and then come straight in realistically, and then just try and get into a safe spot in the vault here for a little bit. and then it gives you a little bit of time to sort of collect yourself, and then you can throw maybe another sense charge like this, and then that'll block you off while you want to go here for a plant. You just have to care for somebody in cash side. If you are communicating with your teammates, this is a good opportunity to tell one of your teammates to play cash. Like when you push for the cafe side, you can tell them to slowly go cash, and then they can hold this angle so nobody can play in the bathroom while you're in sight here. That's just an option if you have a stack to play with or have people to play with. But yeah, you can do this all solo as well. If you want to, if you're scared of the bathroom that much, when you do this sense to do that, you can also like block off the bathroom as well by like kind of just going like that, and that'll block off any cash holes in the bathroom door, and then you can get a plant down here. So yeah, that's basically it. Like kind of trying to get in the site and get a plant down, or get some kills on site as well. If this wall is bandited, which it generally isn't, because people tend to focus on the initiation wall and the mirror walls, because there'll probably be a mirror here and a mirror on the other one, which might be bandited. If not, if this is bandited or muted or something and you can't breach it, you can just run across here and breach this top wall if you can get the vault. It's a bit awkward to get though, but if you can get the vault prompt when you sprint across here, you can put a breaching charge here and like that. But generally, if I'm going to do this way, I'll breach this first, because it's a bit awkward trying to get this the vault prompt while you're waiting for the sense to while the sense is going, because if you throw the sense and then do all that, you might run away. The sense might run out before you even get in. So just like do the breach first, then throw the sense and run back, if that makes sense. How many times have I fucking said sense? Right, so now I'm going to go on to the next strat. Alright, so the final one is for the attacking the throne site. Now to do this, I like to play Buck with a hard breach gadget if I'm solo queuing. If not, I won't bring the hard breach gadget and I'll tell my teammate to play a breacher. But what you're going to do, you're simply going to go in above, get the denial off the yellow wall, and then breach the yellow wall. Now, the only reason I'm playing Buck is for the soft breach and the hard breach gadget. If you have a teammate that wants to play a breacher and you're safe with him doing that, like it's not a random that you're scared of them just going in and dying, then at that point you can play maybe a ram or something if you want a different kind of soft breach. But if you're solo queuing and you want to do it all solo, you can play Buck. And what you want to do is spawn over there, come over here to this bathroom window, and then open bathroom window obviously, and then you want to just quickly drone it, make sure it's good. Generally this window is pretty good. Like, I mean, people might be holding above, but they won't be in bathroom, so you're pretty safe to drone usually. If you hear anything when you break the window open, then be careful for that. But you just want to make sure you're good to go. Like, I'll drone up the waiting room here, and then I can leave a drone to watch my top dragon and my waiting, and then simply just jump in. Now at this point, it's up to you what you want to do. You can either go to breach all of the soft floor, like all of the floor. So you want to breach like here, which is like above the wall, and make sure nobody's in the corner there or behind this pillar, and you can get the denial off. You might want to check fireplace here. You have to be careful for C4s at the same time. But yeah, there's the fireplace down there. And now you can also kind of play over here. Oh, sorry. Like this. And kind of see a little bit back thrown. You can kind of see a little bit back thrown there. That there is like a little half wall near the throne, if you know where that is in sight. So yeah, that's what you kind of want to make. You can make a lot more as well everywhere else, but at this point you don't know what exactly is clear and what's not clear upstairs, so you want to be careful. All you know right now is that office is clear, cash is clear, and waiting is clear. And if anybody comes in after the fact, then it's kind of on you. So you have to be careful not to overextend at this point. If you want to, now is the choice of, you can either go for the yellow wall because you've got the denial off, or you can go for the hatch. It's up to you. Generally the yellow wall I find is easier to fight off of, because the hatch you're dropping into a crossfire. But if you want to go for the wall, you just jump back out here and go into the lockers here. Now at this point you have to be careful for the bathroom, so if you want to pre-place a drone in the prep phase in bathroom, you can do that, or if you have one in your pocket still, you can use that one. But you want to make sure bathroom's good. Generally gong will be pretty okay at this point in the round, or you can just kind of use your gun and like face check it, but it's a bit more risky to face check. So you can like kind of face check this, see if it's good. Okay, I'll just breach the wall now then. And you may as well use two of them because you're not going to breach anything else. Now, at this point you're just kind of trying to play into sight and see what you can find on sight. Like what kind of fights you can find. And then after that you want to try and get in and plant behind this pillar here. But obviously you want to make sure fireplace is clear from above, if you can, to clear that angle out before you go in, because you need to make sure it's all clear here before you jump in, obviously. Now at this point you need your teammates to try and cover you while you plant, or tell one of them to plant and you cover them if they're like communicating enough with you. But yeah, so that's what I'll do when I'm solo queuing on attack side. Now I'm going to switch to the defense side now. Alright, so for the defense side I'm going to start off with throne and armory. And to this site I like to play Cade if Cade's not banned. If Cade is banned I might play Bandit or anyone else really, doesn't really matter. But Cade is a good choice if Cade's not banned. Generally on this site you want to play 2 wall deniers. You want to play a Bandit and a Cade because there's 6 walls, and I mean no one has enough to do 6 walls of denial. So generally what I'll tell my teammate if he's playing Bandit is I'll tell him to Bandit these 2 and these 2, and I'll Cade these 2, because what you can do with Cade here is just put one under here and then put one on the other side up here. And now it pretty much is safe to from the above and anything like that. The only thing that can get the Cades off now is nades or a Twitch drone. So yeah, you want to reinforce them 2 walls. But the main idea with what I do here is I go over to this dragon here at the start of the round. I reinforce these 2 in the prep phase as well. I'm not going to do it now just for the sake of time. But if you come up with these dragon stairs and just make a shotgun hole here, this bit of wood there is right where the top of the reinforcement ends. So you can look over the top of a reinforcement into gong, where people will come in through the double door there. And from their perspective, they can't really see much. And I get so many freebies here, just people just coming into gong thinking it's safe. And like this is the angle they have to fight. Especially like that just looks like it could be just a random like made hole by accident or something. If I'm coming in, I have all these angles to worry about. I have to check for maintenance. Like I'm not even gonna look up there. Like it's not even gonna cross my mind as an attacker. Unless you've been drawn is the only way. Even then, it's hard to like. It's such a random angle that getting the pre-lining it up is gonna be a bit weird for anybody. So I just like to use this. I'll use this nearly every time, every round. Sorry, on defend throne, because it's such a good strategy. To get like an early pick. So I'll do this, get my early pick. I might fight this maintenance window if there's anybody on it. And if nobody comes in there, I'll just end up leaving and come back to site. And then generally I'll just play on site here, and I'll play on this armory site, because at this point they're gonna probably, if they're not coming in maintenance side, they're either coming in barrel side, or they're gonna go play vert. So if they're coming to play vert, you want to get your C4 ready for a C4 freebie if they're trying to get the Cades off the wall or anything. So yeah, that's basically how I do this, and then at that point you kind of like playing off, being reactive to how they're pushing. But I'll just chill on site around fireplay. Alright, so now we're on to the initiation and office site, and this strat is going to be with mute. So generally what I'll do here is I'll start off and I'll come straight through here into bunk, and I'll just shotgun this wall open. This is so that nobody can thermite charge the wooden wall here to breach the site wall. It's just like a common trick that people try and do. And then you want to make the rotates on site, obviously. So I'll make a rotate here. I generally like to make some like kind of angles here, but it doesn't really matter too much. Like this rotate doesn't really get used often, but it's there in case you need it, and it doesn't really hinder you by having it. Now I'll make some holes along here, and then I'll make some holes into this cache wall. Mute jammers aren't really as important. I mainly do this for the shotgun. The main idea of this strat is with the shotgun, but the mutes are just nice. If you want to, you can play smoke, but I like the mutes to just stop any drones, or at least delay any drones. And I'll just drone this dragon stairs, jam these dragon stairs as well. So the idea of what I'd like to do here is I'll kind of open up holes here, and I'll reinforce this wall. If you can get a teammate to play a shield, he can actually give you a shield like around this area here, so that you can fight this top dragon window a bit better behind the shield. But what I like to do is I just kind of play close on this half wall with the shotgun, and then if anybody jumps in dragon, they're a freebie. If anybody tries to push into cache, they're a freebie. Obviously you don't really want to be swinging outside unless you can control the recoil of the SMG11, but if you can't, then just don't, you don't have to. You can kind of just chill here unless you get naded out. If you want to put a mute jammer where you're standing as well, you can do that, just for any Dogabees or any lions or anything. So yeah, literally I'll just chill here. I've got all these holes so my teammates can help me, or help like the cache push while I'm holding the dragon side. And yeah, literally I just chill here. If I have to leave, I'll leave. If I want to, like, sometimes I might aggress up and like take this angle here, just in case nobody, like, if nobody's on this window, you can kind of just do this if you want to. But then if you're drawn, you have to leave, and then you have to get like worry about that window and shit again. So it's a bit risky if you want to do that, but it is a possibility. You can kind of just play around here. If you can, like, the shield blocks this angle, so you can kind of crouch behind this half wall and shit and rotate around there safely. But it's not the end of the world if you don't have a shield. You just kind of have to jiggle it first. Make sure you're safe to rotate across. So yeah, that's basically it for this video. If you enjoyed, drop a like, and I'll see you in the next video.